I may have died and gone to heaven. You know what I've been waiting to see for a long time now? We saw glimpses last year, but we also saw some concerning stuff with it. Iowa Caitlin Clark, 2024 post-Olympic break, Caitlin Clark. And I don't just mean her performance. I'm talking about her attitude. I'm talking about the way she gets fired up on the court, the way she gets the fans going, the way she jaws and gets in people's faces, the trash talk, the whole thing, because that is Caitlin Clark at her best. Yeah, I get it. Some players fall apart when they get into things like worrying about officials' calls or worrying about what other players are saying and getting involved in that way. Not the case with Caitlin Clark. She is the absolute opposite of that. And we saw last year at times, I think I even did one video where you had the coach chasing her on the court when when there was a break in play. I think it was a timeout by one of the teams and grabbing her. You know, we had Stephanie White who didn't want Caitlin Clark to show any of that signature emotion that we are used to. And I don't think she plays as well when she keeps that in, right? We saw a subdued Caitlin Clark a lot after those incidences. But she may have just put the WNBA on notice. And I hope Stephanie White is paying attention to this. I hope that this is what we get from Caitlin Clark this year. So we're going to take a listen to this. We're going to talk about it. I'm curious what y'all think as well. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate all of your support. Hope you all are having a fantastic day. Shout out to the 19. Like, comment, subscribe. You know you want to. Come on. Come on. Be a part of the 19 family. Best basketball community on the frickin' internet. Period. Hey, by the way, hype on mobile. Hit the notification bell. Anyway, let's dig in. So let's take a listen. This is about a minute and a half, and then we're going to listen to this. But this is like, tell me this doesn't take you back.
I don't know if you guys have heard anything I've said.
No.
But Steph has talked about creating depth in the backcourt, especially with your injuries last year, Kelsey going till the wheels fell off. Just what do you think about having Ty and Raven kind of backing up in the backcourt? She also talked about kind of you playing off the ball a little bit, get a little bit of on-court rest. Just what do you think about playing off?
Yeah, well, I think that's going to be something like that's what you have training camp for, and that's what you have the preseason games for, is to try different lineups and to try different people and to give the people that are fighting for roster spots a chance to go out there and compete and perform. Like, I'm not going to go out and play 30 minutes on Saturday. That's just not going to be the case. That's not what it's about. It's, obviously I'm going to go out there and compete as hard as I can, but that's not what we need to do. And I think a little bit of off the ball stuff. Like, I think mostly on dead balls. Like, I think I'm the best transition player in the league. That's where I thrive. Everybody knows that's my game. So, getting the ball off of rebound or in transition, like that's probably when I'm going to be the primary ball handler more than anything. And then, getting off the ball a little bit and catching your breath. Like, it is exhausting bringing the ball up 94 feet versus pressure every single time. So we certainly need to find somebody that can handle the ball a little bit and, give me a little bit of a break. And I think Raven and Ty and even other people through camp, Tori's done a great job. And, Kels does it a little bit. And even I think our 4s and 5s can do that. You saw AB do that a lot last year when we were really in trouble injury-wise. So I think there's a lot of different things that can give us a lot of different looks and just makes us harder to guard more than anything.
It was subtle, folks. It was subtle. I don't know if you quite heard the part that she slipped in there. Now, I think we all know that she has a ton of confidence, but I have not heard Caitlin Clark say something like this since she entered the WNBA. What did she say? I think I am the best player in the league in transition. But hey, Stephanie White, let's slow it down. Let's play the game in quicksand. Let's put Caitlin in the corner and run this offensive set that doesn't get a shot until there are 3 seconds left on the shot clock. No, that is not the best Caitlin Clark offense. The best Caitlin Clark offense is exactly what she just said. Transition, get the rebound, get the ball in Caitlin Clark's hands, and push the ball up the court. It should be Not all the time. Obviously, it's not there, but you should always be testing the defense. We've talked about how, anyway, I'm just going to let this play for entertainment value. This is a video I did back in 2024. Proof Caitlin Clark is the best passer the WNBA has ever seen, and it's not even close. And a lot of this just happens to be in transition. Wow, look at the likes, man. I'm going to hit like too. 1.2 thousand. That's like more views than uh, we get now, which is bizarre. But anyway, maybe I need to do more pure basketball videos. But anyway, where the heck even was I? I got myself distracted. But yeah, I just completely and totally blanked. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. About getting as often as possible, getting the shot in the first 10 seconds of the shot clock, not giving the defense a chance to rest, because it also does something else. It keeps them from crashing the boards, right? When you have someone like Caitlin Clark with her ability to run, her ability in transition, her ability to pass, you got people like Kelsey Mitchell who can get out ahead, Lexi Hull who can get out ahead, Sophie Cunningham. Aaliyah Boston is fantastic as a trailer. I think Monique Billings can move as well. You know how much pressure that puts on the other team that they need to think about when they're on offense, which of course lowers their offensive performance as well. So, I mean, this idea of this half court offense crap is actually ridiculous. Yes, you have to be able to execute in the half court 100%. But if you want to win and you want to maximize what you have, you need to put the ball in Caitlin Clark's hands and get up the court as quickly as possible. Now, that being said, I want to address something else because now I've seen a lot of comments and I saw somebody like, um, ripping people about, oh, she absolutely wants to be off the ball, or it's good to be off the ball. You heard her say it. You heard Caitlin also talk about, of course, because she was asked about it as expected, being off the ball. And that's what led her to the I'm the best player in the league in transition. And she talked about situations where she wanted to be off the ball because it's exhausting bringing up the ball, being guarded 94 feet. We saw, I think it was actually the first thing in this video that I broke down, that iconic Kelsey Plum face guarding Caitlin Clark full court 94 feet in the 2024 All-Star game, in that fantastic play that she worked with Aaliyah Boston for the layup. And it is exhausting. And now you've got people out there. I saw some fool, losing his mind on people like myself, Roads of Black and White Sports, Ben Daniel, about, I can't even remember what he ranted. He has me blocked about, apologizing for this and that, how Caitlin wants to be off the ball and all this stuff. Let's step back the truck up a little bit. Getting help when you're face guarded 24 feet, 94 feet. I was going to say 24/7, which is kind of like what Caitlin Clark gets. Yes, you absolutely are going to have and want help bringing the ball up the court. That is normal. And when you get across half court, the idea, as you see with teams who are functional, not dysfunctional, the point guard gets the ball back as soon as possible to get into the offense. That is very, very different from playing off the ball. This idea, and people like to do this with the goalposts of those who say Caitlin Clark needs to play the point guard and have the ball in her hands, that means we don't think she'll ever not have the ball, that she'll never. I mean, she led the league in assists her rookie year, folks. She's going to pass the ball. The point we are making is she should be instigating the offense as the point guard. That is 100% normal. Point guards get rid of the basketball. I don't understand where this idea came that it meant like she's never going to get rid of the basketball. Of course she is. The problem that we have is when she's off the ball, there's nothing run for her. She's usually setting picks for other players instead of getting picks set for her. And we all know that when she gives up the basketball, even when she is the point guard instigating the offense, she rarely, if ever, gets the ball back, despite the fact that she makes everything so much easier for other players. I think if the offense is run correctly, if Stephanie White has the realization that, yes, Caitlin Clark is exactly what she just said, the best player in the league in transition, you are going to see a monster season from Caitlin Clark, and it's going to elevate to give you a monster season from Aaliyah Boston and a monster season from Kelsey Mitchell. And Monique Billings is going to go from this good player who comes off the bench to a top power forward in the WNBA. No doubt about it. Lexi Hull, Sophie Cunningham, either one of them could very well lead the league in three-point shooting this year. Again, so much of this depends on, are you going to let Caitlin be Caitlin? And for all the crazy people, that doesn't mean we just want her chucking up logo threes and never passing the ball. That is ridiculous. And we all know it's ridiculous. It's just a bunch of lies and gaslighting from people who don't like Caitlin Clark. Run the ball, play up tempo, have Caitlin Clark have the ball in her hands. Yes, she can have help bringing it up the court in normal situations, but ultimately get rebounds, get it in Caitlin Clark's hands immediately. Get up the court as quickly as possible. If you don't have it, you don't have it, and back it up and run your half-court offense that starts with Caitlin Clark. There's a very simple formula. I didn't mean to rip that off from Scream, but Randy is correct. There's a very simple formula. You want entertainment. You want to win. You want to grow the league. Put the ball in Caitlin Clark's hands. Play up-tempo basketball. Everything else comes from there. Are you not entertained? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Appreciate you checking out the video. As always, smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Hype on mobile. Hit the notification bell. I will talk to you later.